Hello everyone, thank you very much for having me. Thanks Valencia for hosting us, thanks to Marcus and Fraser for organizing, and thanks of course to all of you for joining. 2001, we reached out to our customer base global-wide and asked them where it hurts, where are their pain points. And we conducted 60 interviews and we stopped after 60 interviews. We planned actually for a triple-digit number. After 60 interviews, we stopped because literally everybody told us the same. We said, okay, after 60 interviews, it's enough now. We know that story now. Pain point number one, human resources, generation shift, demographic trends. Pain point number two, input factors, substrate costs, energy costs, and so forth. Capital costs. Sustainability, number three, which was very surprising because during the pandemic, nobody really cared about sustainability. We've been very busy with fighting about whether we should be vaccinated or not, but sustainability came back to the agenda right after the pandemic. And number four, industries consolidation. Just to give you an understanding what I mean with industries consolidation, like 20 years ago, the four largest printing companies in narrow web had a market share of about 4%. Today, the four largest printing companies in narrow web have about 16%, so times 4 in 20 years. There's a very fast consolidation of this industry. So, we started thinking about drilling into that problems a bit and trying to figure out whether we can solve the problems of our customers. And we started drilling into the demographic issue. In 1950, there were about 2.5 billion people on the earth. And as of 24th of February, 10 o'clock and 23 minutes, we had about 8 billion and 93 million and some on the earth. Yet everybody complains about not finding the necessary skilled people. We have tripled our population in about 70 years, and we don't find people. So where are those people? So that leads to a small demographic discussion. Here you see the numbers of three major economies, China, Germany, and Italy 2023. And all the way on top in the whitish zone, you see the ladies and gentlemen which have retired already. Some of them retired early due to COVID. Remember, during the COVID time, we all been a little bit in panic, and we kicked out all the old folks and said, no, you don't need to come anymore, and we give you a nice severance package, and they are now in Thailand at the beach with the drink and the small umbrella on top. Then we have, in between the two lines, we have the ladies and gentlemen around their 60s. They're not retired yet, but they're thinking about retirement. And all the way below, we have the ladies and gentlemen which are in labor, plus the kids which we cannot use for labor because they're protected by anti-child labor law regulation. So pre-pandemic, the average baby boomer was about 62 years old. That's a few years back. The average baby boomer is now already retired. So within this decade, the last 5 years and the coming 5 years, we will have lost the largest generation we ever had. So we lose all the experience, we lose their skill sets, we lose their wisdom in the labor process, and we lose their capital. Capital, by the way, is something which is always forgotten because the baby boomers are de-investing their investments because they need to live out of their retirement funds. That means the capital costs global-wide are increasing, and that's what we're seeing right now. Capital costs have five-folded in the last 7 years. One of the reasons is baby boomers are heading for retirement. It's an issue here. We see at the same time, we see declining birth rates in quite most of the relevant countries we have here. So China, Italy, Germany, United States, India, and so forth. They all dropped in their fertility rate below 2.1. So 2.1 children per woman is what you need to keep a population stable. And very interesting is, even India, which traditionally is associated with very large families and large population, has lesser than 2.1 children now per woman. Now they live out of demographic dividends because the last 30 years they made many children, but now the fertility rate even in India is below 2.1. Leads to the picture on the top right. We don't need to go into details, but you see the curves of potential labor force available in the relevant economies is shrinking. So we are already in the situation that global-wide in our economies, we face a shrinking labor force. However, the people are still around because the life expectations increases. They're just not in labor anymore, leading to quite some challenges. I called one of my old professors of the University of St. Gallen and said, hey, I want to know something. What is the delta between the people exiting our industry every year and entering our industry? And I defined the industry as printing and packaging industry. We focus on narrow web because we are primarily narrow web, and that's what I wanted to know. And I wanted to know specifically how many people from the technical side are exiting our industry and entering our industry. So we don't need to go through all the numbers. Let's just look into Germany. We built 3 scenarios based on demographics, generation change, meaning that we have an industry which is not really attractive for the younger folks, and we built them with some unattractivity factor of 10, 20, 30%. I can share the study with you if you want. We have all the numbers. The delta in Germany between 2023 and 2032, so that's about these 10 years which we have on hand when we started the study, is that total leaving workforce, technical people in Germany in this period is 14,000 and a few, and new entering are about 8,000. So that's a delta of 44%, or a yearly delta of about 5%. So now you need to take those numbers with a grain of salt, because that's crystal ball. We don't know regulation, we don't know whatever happens in the coming 10 years. But we know somewhere between, according to those scenarios, 4 and 7% is the yearly delta of people exiting the industry to entering the industry. So if you have 100 people as a company and 10 are leaving, 3% or 5% lesser are coming into your company again. That's a problem because that's every year. So that leads to the fact what we see today in our industry, literally everybody is complaining about, I cannot get the necessary technical people on board. And it's not going to stop. So next trend we having drilled in is urbanization. In the 1900s, about 2 of 10 people were living in urban centers. And in 2050, about 7 of 10 people will live in urban centers. Today, we are somewhere in between. We're somewhere between 2010 and 2030. So it's about 5.5 people today out of 10 in the global population lives in urban centers. That means globally, that's a global trend. Globally, people are moving into cities. Purchasing power shifts into the cities. The service sector, which is traditionally located in the cities, absorbs the necessary labor, which we also are fighting for. And factories in our industry are not located in the cities because it's too expensive. So we have, due to demographic, we have lesser people available, which we just saw the number, and those we have, they're moving in the cities. Our factories are in rural sites. They are not downtown Valencia, I would assume. So, and the next problem is we have a generation change. I have some kids in those generations, and I can tell you they are really different than I am, and they're really different than my father was, and most probably their grandfather. So The new generations coming up, they consume information and products in a completely different way than we do. They live in a hyper-connected digital world. I, as a 46-year-old, I was most probably the last generation which was raised 100% in the physical world. My kids are 50% in the physical world and 50% in the digital world. It's a completely different mindset which is created. They are attracted to service digital jobs. They want not to commute. Driving 1 hour to work, like it's normal for my generation and back, it's not a thing for them. They want home office. They want a complete different setting. But we have factories where we need workers, leading to the next very, very big challenge. So to illustrate what I mean with generation change, raise your hand, please. Who knows Reddit our place? So it's about maybe 5% of the people in here, maybe 10, know Reddit our place. You are the younger guys, or at least in the mind. Reddit our place is a game on Reddit, the platform, with 6 million pixels on a canvas. You can select pixels out of 32 colors. You can set 1 pixel every 5 minutes. And they had 9 million users and set about 133 million something pixels over a course of a few days. I didn't know that, but it's obviously a thing. Because my son set the alarm clock every 5 minutes to set his pixel. And I didn't know that until I really asked him, hey, what's wrong? What's wrong with you? Somebody needs to tell you to breathe, or why do you have the alarm? And he explained that to me. No, I need to set my pixels. 9 million people played this game over a few. They really are into setting pixels on a digital canvas. It's a huge thing. Our generation most probably wouldn't have invested their time in setting pixels on an online canvas. We were in the forest building whatever forest houses and doing other stupid things, but they're setting pixels. So I would love to show you a video. Unfortunately, we couldn't convert the file to make it happen on the PowerPoint presentation on the screen here, but it's easy. Just go on Reddit, our place, or go on Google or on YouTube. There are hours of videos where influencers and guys guiding their groups of pixel army, setting their pixels and fighting with each other on this virtual canvas. Have a look, it's very entertaining. So, conclusion. Even if we would magically produce 100 million babies right now, we still would need to wait 25 years until we can put them somewhere in a factory. The problem doesn't go away. The problem is here to last. We are not running out of babies today. We did that 30 years ago. Today we're running out of adults. The challenges are here to stay. We will have less labor for the industrial sector. Human intervention becomes the bottleneck in literally every value chain. Automation and interconnectivity turns from a cost-saving activity into a necessity for an industry's survival. If you do not automate, you die. Meaning, automation becomes a price tag, which is also something which is quite different than a few years back. We must engage the next generation in a different way, and our industry needs to adopt. And what we have done so far is definitely not enough. Increasing benefits and salaries doesn't create more people. You just fight for the same people which are here already. And our industry will lose the competition with the service jobs. If we raise the salary for an operator from 60,000 to 100,000, Google raised the salary from 150,000 to 300,000. We are losing. We don't have the money to pay the high salaries. Foreign workers were a little bit the path to go in the past. I'm from Switzerland. We imported people from Germany. Germany imported from Poland. Poland imported from Romania. Romania imported from Bulgaria. And Bulgaria today has 40% less people than 30 years ago. That's a fact. You can check it. They're running out of people. Now, Poland also have demographic challenges. And if somebody has an increased salary environment at home, why should he go abroad? He will stay at home with his family. So importing people from other countries also doesn't really solve the problem anymore. And since COVID, we have an issue anyhow with lesser available people because they don't want to go abroad. That's really a trend change. So the big question is the current strategy which our business and our industry is running on sustainable? And I'd say for most or for all of our business, the answer is no. We propose from Gallus a drastic change forward towards automation. You don't do it overnight, you don't do it alone, and I'll come to that in a minute, but that's the path to go. We need a reality of smart connected printing. And don't get me wrong, smart connected printing is not a product we are selling. Smart connected printing is a way to think about our industry. It's a way forward to bring together the industry which has solutions for automations, interconnect them horizontally and vertically, bring in artificial intelligence, results out insights of big data, the whole digitalization, push-to-stop operation, meaning that you run your factory 24 hours, ideally the black factory or the windowless factory, without the necessary people, and cloud connectivity. We need to do that. Gallus, and I'm speaking here for Gallus, we cannot do it alone. It's a too big job. We are not a big data cloud provider. We are not an artificial intelligence algorithm programmer. We need partners for that. Speaking about of AI. AI is one of the key elements which we need to embed in this route to smart connected printing. AI will help us in predictive servicing, quality control, workflow optimization, color management, inventory management, all the sustainability and environmental topics, and enhanced data-driven analytics. We look as, if you're thinking about AI, about a tool to manage, understand, and steer behavior. And you know AI manages and steers behavior in a human environment. You get more voters if you're a political party, but we think more about the technical ecosystem or the technology itself. And just before, and Jochen said, in a digital environment, you have thousands of variables to control, from physics to waveforms to all these other bits and pieces. You need artificial intelligence to really understand and to steer that. We propose a way forward to implement artificial intelligence into the thought of smart connected printing. So, what do we need to do? We need highest level of automation. We need cloud connectivity. We need Industry 4.0 integration horizontally and vertically. We need versatility and flexibility by design. And I will not unveil something here. We have prepared something which we will unveil at Drupa, which goes directly in versatility and flexibility in design. There will be a very fantastic concept and some fantastic products be introduced to the market, which all of you will like a lot. And we need new digital solutions. We put the money where our mouth is. We built in St. Gallen the Gallus Experience Center, and we have invited the industry to participate. And we invite you to participate. We have 2,500 square meters property there. We have, meanwhile, one of the largest assembly of technology in the narrow web industry, together with 20 partners. We show solutions in workflow, in machinery, in digital, in ink development. We show the Heidelberg Customer Portal, we show the cloud connectivity, and we have built in the versatility in this whole ecosystem. We need to do that with partners. And what I said beforehand, smart connected printing is not a product. No, it's not our product, not the Gallus product. It's our all product. We all need to come together. We have built a touch point for the industry, and we invite you to participate. If you have technology, if you have something to give to bring smart connected printing forward as a concept, as a future for our industry, please come, talk to me, talk to our people, and bring along your technology in order to drive forward our industry. So, final words. I think we should leverage state-of-the-art technologies. Unfortunately, printing industry is still a little behind in automation and robotics compared to other industry. There's a lot of technology out there. We should harvest that and implement that in our environment. We need 24/7 automated production. We need a digital transformation. And together, by modernizing our industry, by attracting new generation, by adding new technology, I think we will increase the chances of our future success. So again, we invite the whole industry to participate in smart connected printing in our showroom. It's not our showroom anymore. We share it now with 20 partners in St. Gallen. Have a look, come, talk to us. Together we might find a way forward into a better, even more successful industry future. Thanks a lot.